Who's saying it first? Why was Fred still on?
Garth, you good, bro?
I don't know. My screen's frozen. Right, I think I'm still here. Is Joe still here? This is fantastic.
Still here. Yeah.
This is fantastic. This just sums up our performance, doesn't it? Hello, everyone. Welcome to All for United. This is a match reaction. United have lost 3-1 against PSG, and we are a fucking mess. Joining me is Joe, Temmie, and Ollie. We're all a bit down in the dumps. Joe's lagging. And Ollie's not got a smile on his face for a change. So let's just go around and see how everyone feels. Joe, Mr. Lag, we can go to you first.
Yeah, look, I am so angry. I am so angry because I've never, out of everything that Solskjaer has done right or wrong or anything like that, I've always kind of defended him because I always felt there was a method to whatever madness was happening. But how he could have not taken off Fred. And this is somehow not blaming Fred for stupidly getting a yellow card again. But that's the type of player he is. He flies in with tackles and stuff like that. But still, stupidly for Solskjaer of not taking Fred off and bringing Pogba on immediately after. I genuinely thought the sub was going to happen maybe 38 minutes into the game. I did not understand why it took until him getting sent off and then 10 minutes afterwards for that substitute to happen. We should not have lost that game. The miss the Martial halves, I don't blame him for that because sometimes that happens to strikers. But we made enough opportunities. We were doing such wonderful play up front that I felt we weren't going to lose that game. Whether it was going to end 1-1, we weren't going to lose that game with 11 players on the pitch. This loss is 100% down to Solskjaer. 100%. We are in this position. We are in the position where I genuinely feel we will not get out of this group because of Solskjaer. And that's just it. And I'm not calling for him to be sacked. I'm not calling for anything stupid like that. I am just saying we have gone from beating PSG, Champions League finalists last season, 2-1 in their home yard, beating the semi-finalists 5-0 at home, to now we're in a position where we're as likely to not qualify to the last stage of the Champions League as we are to qualify, and it's completely on Solskjaer. I don't know what he was thinking about. I don't understand it. I can't get my head around it whatsoever. Other than himself, other than Solskjaer going, I think he feels he is not respected as a coach, so he does stupid decisions like this to see, so people can go, I'm a genius. Look at me, I did this. You didn't think this would work out, but it worked out. That's the only way I can get my head around it. It makes no sense. We had PSG sitting there waiting for us to just take them out. We had so many opportunities, and we would have, with 11 men on that pitch, would have not lost that game. We would have not lost that game.
Well, very emotional, Joe, and I don't blame him. A lot of what he said is correct. Before I go into further details, there's loads of you in the comments. There's loads of you watching right now. So make sure to like the video. I know there's not much to like about today, but like the video. Make sure to subscribe to All for United because we want to hit a certain target. I can't remember what we're on at the minute, but we want to keep growing by 2021. So let's try and do that. So if you're watching on other platforms, head over to YouTube and come watch us there. I'm sure Joe will put out a link to the YouTube link. But let's see what people are saying in the comments, and we'll sort of discuss what's going on from there. A lot of it's on Fred. Fred and Ollie, major cause of the downfall. I mean, with regards to Fred, I think it's not his fault, but it swings and roundabouts because he should have been sent off in the first half. The tackle he got sent off for wasn't a foul, but it is on Ollie because he should have taken him off. But I think also on the flip side, Fred didn't do a lot wrong in the second half. It was just one tackle, and the tackle that he made wasn't a foul. So it's a bit of both. You can't blame just one or the other. It is a series of events that you have to put down to just it goes that way, and you can't really complain too much. Ollie, I'll go to you. The rest of the comments are sort of just going on about naivety from Ollie and here and there to do with Martial. I'll ask you about the attack when we're talking about Martial. A great chance for him, especially in the second half. He really should have put that one away, in my opinion. But it happens as a striker. How did you feel our attack did? Because we caused them some problems in the second half.
Well, I mean, that space opened up on the right, didn't it? Obviously, Neymar doing what Neymar does best. I mean, a lazy bastard. But I mean, Cavani led the line brilliantly today. He brought everyone into the game. Even when they were sort of stacked up in defence, we were still getting through. It looked a little bit laboured in the first half, but then, as we say, as the game wore on, there was many a chance. And as Joe said, I think we would have maybe even took 3 points that game. It was unrelenting quality pressure. A few, lackluster misses, but you're going to make a few of those. If Martial has 3 chances, he's going to put one away. Cavani has 2 chances, he'll put one away. It's all right. Hindsight's a brilliant thing, but I have to say, with 5 subs available to him, I mean, I was shaking the foundations of the house, mate. At half time, I wasn't expecting to see Fred come back out. It was a letdown in that perspective, but the attacking, I thought it was good. Imagine the subs we did make before Fred had been taken off. I feel like the impact of Greenwood when there was more space on the right. I think Rashford did a good job on the right, but it's Rashford on the right. It's not the same Rashford. And I think there's definitely an opportunity missed for me. Hence, everyone in the comments being a little bit sore. I know I am. And rightfully so, really. And we've got a tough job against Leipzig now. If we'd have told Leipzig they've got to beat us at their home ground in the final day, they'd snatch your hand off, mate. So,
I think it's important to note, though. Sorry to interrupt. It's important to note that they are without Upamecano for that game. So it kind of levels it out.
Silver linings, isn't it, really? But yeah.
I mean,
I'll take what I can get at them. I'll take what I can get.
It's a point. It's something. But I mean, we can take.
But we shouldn't be relying on that. Like
of course not.
No, I completely understand where you're coming from. That there is going to the last game, but we needed a draw tonight. That's all we needed, okay? And why was Solskjaer risking that by putting Fred back out? Why? Like, there was nothing to gain from giving Fred an extra 45 minutes. We need him at the weekend against West Ham. There was everything to say. We were 1-1. We were playing well. Take him off. It's not like we were stuck on the bench. We had Pogba, we had Matic, and we had Donny that could have come on. Any one of them would have filled his position in a different way and would have kept the game going forward. So I don't understand why he did it.
Fergie has been guilty of that, but Fergie wouldn't have had 5 subs. That's the kicker for me. I could understand maybe trying to squeeze another 10 minutes out of someone, but I mean, he was lucky to be on, so he was in the eye line of the ref for the rest of the game. And to be honest with you, that just takes Fred out of it because that's not his way of playing. He likes to be a battler. Taking that out of Fred was just killed off the midfield. So,
I mean, the comment says it all. That's literally what you've just said, Ollie. That is Fred's game, and they were playing on it. It was clear to see. I do have to disagree with Barry on this one. I don't think Martial was bad today. Yes, he should have had a brace. He could have had a brace. But I don't think he had a bad game as such. I thought he played quite well. He showed a lot of work rate, which I don't think we see from him a lot. I thought in that sense he had a good game. And I don't think he was the only player who missed chances. Cavani had a couple of chances. Rashford had a chance or two. Bruno had the chance as well. So I don't think it's a blame game that we should be playing. I think it's a case of it's one of those games where just whatever could have gone wrong did go wrong. Tim, I'm going to ask you about the next game because obviously it puts us in a bit of a difficult situation. A point will still do, so there is that. But we did need a draw today, and how much do you think that will cost us going into that game?
Yeah, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. That we dropped points. We were 1-1 cruising. In my opinion, I thought we were cruising. I think the first 50 minutes were better than the 50 minutes in Paris. Like we all loved that the game in Paris because it was so exciting. We defended out of this world. AWB was putting in tackles, but they were dominating the game. They were actually dominating. This game, it felt like we were playing with them. Like it felt like a back and forth kind of nip and tuck game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to the next game. I'm worried. I'm not going to lie. Solskjaer, obviously today showed a lot of naivety. Very obviously, we're going to miss Fred. Fred has been a mainstay in our team for this whole season and all of last season. So missing him is going to be something that's, in my opinion, massive. That's huge. So now we have to look at Solskjaer and say, hey, like, you have to come up with your best performance you've ever come up with, in my opinion, because Nagelsmann's not going to make the same mistakes he made, against us the last time. He's a very good coach. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested. I'm more interested in anything. Like, this is for everyone who is an Ollie in supporter. This is all the chips on the table, right? This next game, in my opinion, this is a big moment. This is a really, really big moment for Ollie. Win that game. We have better players. We do. We have better play. Leipzig is a beautiful, beautiful team to watch. Beautiful football team. But at the end of the damn day, even without Fred, we have better players than them. So fucking win the game. Just win the game. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, maybe that's not answering your question, but it's huge. All I'm going to say is for Solskjaer, it's huge. He needs to win this game because mistake, like Joe mentioned, after that mistake, if Fred getting sent off costs us a Champions League, knockout stage appearance, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Then we start looking at the league again and we see where we are in the league table, and then a lot of people are getting really pissed off again. You know what I'm saying? Me included. Included. You see what I'm saying? So you better win that damn game. You better win that damn game.
Yeah, I think it is a game that we need to win now, just for confidence sake as well. Even if we get a draw and we go through, it'll still be a case of, oh, well, there's a draw.
We stumbled through it.
No.
Yeah. Just looking at more of the comments. Barry, I mean, I get what you're trying to say with this, but you can have a good game and miss chances.
Yeah.
I mean, if we won, would you be saying the same thing? That's my question. If you say yes, fair enough. If not, then I don't know.
Pathetic is when there's a pass to your right and you try the harder pass and it doesn't come off and you keep on doing it. That's pathetic. He played the correct passes. He was in the right positions. He just missed. So I would you know what I'm saying? Me and Carthage are going to preview for this. We're going to do a player rating show. We'll break this down and we'll talk about it more in depth. But look forward to that. He wasn't pathetic today. I'll just throw that.
I thought he was brilliant today, mate, to be honest with you. Yes, it's easy to say when he missed, but everyone makes mistakes.
Okay, I can't. No. Sorry, lads. I can't go along with that. I can't say he was brilliant because he wasn't brilliant. He wasn't brilliant. No. I would say he was about par. I think
that's fair.
But with that miss, with being our number 9 and moving forward, I realize he's in bad form. But like, if he's even when he did that, my heart broke from because if anyone was going to score, I wanted it to be him. But like he didn't. I can't say he was brilliant. I can't even say he was good. There was a couple of times where he looked like he could do something, but I just felt he wasn't there. And he needs to score. It's an incredibly infuriating match today that we watched because it's okay. We talk about like the whole thing with Fred. That is the main thing that's upsetting me, right? Obviously, because he should have been taken off before halftime. But as well as that, why wait till 10 minutes into having a red card to being down to 10 men before you bring on Pogba and Donny and bring on whoever, Igalo comes on at the 89th minute? Why are these decisions happening at the last second of every game? Why is he looking at going, we're actually... No, I'm not. No, sorry, Demi. I am shocked. The only reason I am shocked is because when you have 11 people on the pitch, it's fine. Play the game you want to be played. 9 times out of 10, United are the better team, or are the better team at least on paper. So it should be fine when whoever we're playing against. But when we're playing against an equal team, if not better team as PSG, and we have them on the ropes, we have better opportunities across the board. Because that the header from Marcinho, which should have gone in, he should have scored, would have been offside in the first place. So we should have been 2-1 up before that anyway through Martial. But I don't understand why not to change a game when you're down to 10 men. Or when you're pretty much going to be down to 10 men, not to do it then. Like, this is a game that Ollie lost us completely. Like, I should blame Fred more. I probably should blame Martial more as well. But I blame Ollie for this completely. Utterly and completely.
That's fair. That's fair. That's a fair opinion. I'm not going to say no to that. We touched on Fred. I wanted to ask all of you really what you made of this, because this is an interesting comment. Hammond thinks that Fred and McTominay don't complement each other all the time. They both like to press and run around. They're not disciplined. Do you think that had something to do with today?
So I'll answer it. This is my buddy, one of my Twitter buddies who asked that question. I will say, I think that was the right choice today. You know, I'm not McTominay's biggest fan, but I thought that double pivot worked. Yeah. I mean,
I did too.
If you really look at the game, they were pissed. I mean, it was a battle in there. Obviously, Fred should have gotten sent off. So it was outside of that. I thought they won the midfield battle. I really do. In my humble, I might be wrong about that. I'll go back and watch the game.
I agree with you.
You're right, mate.
I thought they won the fight. You see what I'm saying? And that's one thing that a lot of us take for granted with Fred. Every time he's in our midfield, we have a chance of winning the damn fight. You see what I'm saying? And I think that Matic today, I think he should have come on when Fred, was a little on the road. Yeah, halftime. I thought Matic would have given him a different kind of dimension, a different kind of energy. But I thought to start that game, McTominay was a little bit hit and miss in the beginning. I missed the first 5 minutes of the game, but after he got in a rhythm after that first goal, I thought Fred and McTominay won the fight. I might be wrong about that. I'm just being objective. You see what I'm saying? I thought they won the fight. So if they can, in a game like this where you obviously Neymar and Mbappe, they're gonna beat our defenders for pace. Like they're gonna beat any defenders for pace. So I'm not gonna blame Maguire and Lindelof for getting burned in a 1-on-1 versus Neymar and Mbappe. Yeah. But if Matic is in there, or let's say Donnie's in there, and we can't win that fight because it's just not enough, energy and legs, we're already on the back foot. We were cruising until the red card, or excuse me, until the 2-1 down and then the red card. We were cruising. So,
but
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. Tell me, even on that, I felt when we went 2-1 down with 11 men on the pitch, I think that would have finished 2-2-all. Even if I think we could even nick them maybe at the end again, it would have been 3-2. I felt if that sending off didn't happen, I completely agree with you. I thought McTominay and Fred were exceptional today. I really, really do. I do. When you look back at that red card, if this ended a draw or we won that game, we would look back and go on, do we think Fred should have been sent off? Genuinely, I'm looking at that going, 9 times out of 10 that would have been sent off, but I felt it wasn't because I felt he squared up to Fred, and Fred was basically saying "fuck off" with his head. I don't think it was a headbutt, so I think the ref made the right decision. But at that yellow card, I felt that was a yellow card plus a warning.
It's a red.
Yeah, you think it's a red? That's absolutely fair enough. I completely understand where you're coming from, and I respect your opinion as always, Temi.
Of course.
But at the same thing, Fred is, no matter what, when he just got a yellow card for that, there was not one person watching that game who was looking at that going, Fred isn't on borrowed time. Fred was on borrowed time from that moment on. Every fly tackle, every time he was near the ball, my heart leapt out of my chest. So when he came back on for the second half, I was like, what is happening here? So I completely agree with you. I think Fred and McTominay were exceptional in midfield today, as I hope they will be. I thought McTominay handled Neymar brilliantly without getting booked. He made him know he was there. He took him out perfectly, timed his tackles amazingly, and then it just fell apart after that. We went down to 10 men. I could literally go on for hours. Sorry.
I mean, it feels like we keep coming back to this Fred red card, and I don't like making referee decisions a big part of the game, but this kind of feels like what cost us, doesn't it? I mean, you think that we probably go on and win that game with Fred on the pitch, and I really don't like coming back to the same point, but this seems to be the big standout thing. But there is another thing in that Thomas Tuchel makes some subs before Fred came on. Ollie, I'll go to you because obviously you always tend to put a positive spin on things, but I feel like when we're looking away from Fred, did those subs end up costing us the game in a way? Because I mean, the corner the corner was originated from a move that benefited from the changes, right?
Well, I mean, their changes. You could see there was a problem. Tuchel could see we were just exploiting that right-hand side, and it was time after time. So I think his changes worked, and then obviously, if there's a complete switch in the game, you think a good manager is going to go, right, something's changed, let's fix where the issues are. They had a free shot. I forget what Bakker, is it? The Danish fella?
No, the one who came on. Yeah.
He had a good shot, and then they had another good save. Dave saves after his howler. That's basically where the onus changed in the game for me. And at that point, we were still in it, but there needed to be a change quicker. If you're in the ascendancy in the game, and then suddenly, there's two, I think it was two, Baka and someone for Diallo. And then you could just see there was a complete change. The change in the attacking areas where they were going down the left constantly. They changed it round. And those, implementing those changes from any manager needs to see, right, they've had a change. Let's go with it. Man for man.
Yeah.
We need changes. As we were saying before, Fred without the bite is, to me, a pretty bang average midfielder. Fred's strength is his bite. He gets in there. You don't have time on the ball. It's a battle, like Temi was saying. So, with that aspect, let alone, yes, he's on a yellow. Fred, without his, vigorous tackling, he's not really worth having on the pitch, to be honest with you. So I feel, that should have been a warning sign at very least from that first shot. We need to change them up, get maybe more defensive. As we've said previously, that third goal, it was McTominay dropped back and went towards his man. And that's a lack of defensive, understanding. That's something that a Matic could have done. Because, as soon as it went to McTominay on his own at CDM, I was worried. I'm not going to lie. And I feel like could have been avoided. So, yet again, I think that was just a mismatch from the managers. And that's maybe the difference that showed through for Oli today.
Yeah, we talk about the PSG changes. There was a comment here. I can't seem to find it right now. So whoever it was, I apologize. Make yourself known. But keep getting your comments in. Keep liking the video. There was a comment about Rashford on the right, and I think those changes were made to sort of nullify that because all our play was coming down that side. Before we get into his injury, how good did all of you find Rashford on the right-hand side? Do you think he played well there? Do you think that's an option for him? And how much will we miss him going forward? Because we don't know how long that injury is going to be for. Joe, we'll go to you first.
Yeah, no, I thought he was slow to get into the game, but he really made his presence known, and PSG obviously saw him as a threat because every time he had the ball, there was two men out. I think the right side could work for him, and I think I think he's an exceptional footballer, so he can make anywhere work. But I just don't know. Maybe he does need a bit of a break because he's been slowing down a bit, and he'll get the goal tonight, but that was an own goal. But I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know. He just maybe a bit. Sorry, I'm just really angry. It's hard for me to look at anything outside of what has happened here tonight. Sorry, guys, but
I'll try and help Joe out. I'll try and help John a little. I can see.
Thanks, Temi.
I'm almost done with this cup, so I'm feeling a little better now. So, but yeah, no, I think. Honestly, I think he should take. The Raheem Sterling model. Be flexible, be able to play on both wings. I think he was fine. Again, this is his second game that he started on the right, and God knows how long. And I thought he did well. He played in that pass to Martial that should have been a goal. He has the ability to be direct in a different way. Be direct on the byline. You know what I'm saying? Be forward thinking on the byline to play in crosses. You know what I'm saying? When he's on the left. You just know for a fact, what's happening. He's not going to pass.
In,
you know he's going to cut in. You know he's going to shoot. You know he's never going to pass the ball. But if he's on the right, it gives him a different mentality. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. If Ollie says, hey, you're going to be on the right this game, he should be like, cool. If he plays on the left this game, he should be like, cool. Raheem Sterling, right? If you put him on the right, he's equally as effective and equally as potent. And I think Rashford should, take that up. Especially now that we have Cavani here and Martial should, Martial and Rashford and Cavani, in my opinion, should all be playing regularly, because they're, I would say 3 of our top 7 players. Let's just, you know what I'm saying. So, continue to long may it continue. I thought he was fine again, and defensively too. I think he has more of a. I know people are bored. People don't want to hear about Rashford in defense, but it's important. He tracked. I thought he tracked back well today. I thought he tracked back.
Putting a shift today, definitely.
Yeah. So I would let it rock. In my opinion, I would let it rock for a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah, I think Cavani was amazing today as well. Sorry, Oliver. Sorry.
Yeah, he was.
Right. Like Rashford's ball to Cavani against Southampton, he's got that in his bag. He can do that from the right, unlike Dan James. Obviously, if you're going to cut in and shoot with your right foot from the left, you need to have something special on your right. So Rashford's, pace to burn. He could beat a man. He did that today. And then he's got time to think. But I mean, with putting it on Cavani's head with his movement, we should see some goals out of that. It's a shame. It's yet again. Yes, he can do a job better than most on that right wing, but we don't have a right winger. Therein lies the issue. Whereas Greenwood, he can cut in on his left. So I don't know whether he's teasing Greenwood back in, but I feel like he could have done a good job on the right today. Don't know whether that was a miss, but yeah, definitely.
I don't think you're going to get the defensive.
No.
Yeah, well, that's maturity, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's I love Greenwood, but I think what we're seeing this season is that we need discipline. Every time we've not had a disciplined mentality going into a game, we've lost. Spurs, Crystal Palace. Today's different because I thought we were relatively disciplined until we brought Istanbul.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And Greenwood just lacks that discipline because he's too young. He's not a right winger. He's eventually going to be a center forward, eventually. But he's just not. He's lightweight right now, so he can't be. But in games like this, for him to, I thought he came on and he was bright. But I don't know if Greenwood's going to be a starter this season like he was. Late into last season because people have kind of found out, where they can attack our defense when he's on the pitch.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, we were sort of trying to find little bits of positives, but it's a bit difficult considering the situations. We'll go around and get closing thoughts then. We'll go to Temi first. Temi, take it away.
Yeah, to all of the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer supporters, pray that we do not lose against Leipzig. I'm telling you right now, it will not be a pretty day as a Manchester United fan if we lose against Leipzig. But that being said, we need to build momentum against West Ham. So if we win that game, who knows what that trickle effect could be, you know what I'm saying? Martial, my favorite player, on planet Earth, he's one of my favorite players. He was not at the races today. Got to call him out for that. If he scores those chances, we probably win the game. And I'm going to call him out for that. Got to do better because if I'm going to criticize the people that I think don't pull their weight, I'm going to criticize my favorite players. So Martial, big chances missed. But we move. We're still top of the table. So we got to remember that. And we just need one big win. It's that simple.
Ollie, over to you.
I think you've got to look at some positives. You have to, otherwise you just be angry. We don't like Joe. To be honest with you, I thought it was some brilliant play today. You've got to look at Cavani's impact. I think he's had more of a sort of maturity put through the team. You could see that from Martial was doing the other side of the game today, which is sometimes underrated. And I think that comes from looking, at someone like Cavani. Experience and movement. I thought he led the line like an absolute beast today. It's just, anything could happen. It was a game of potential fine margins. We could have watched a really boring 0-0 draw. Yes, it would have got us through and put them in the Europa League. But it was quite an exciting game to watch. These are very, very low positives in what was a pretty shit final result for me, unavoidable. But again, if Pogba scores that shot, what a brilliant game that was. It had everything. So I don't think dwell on it too much, lads. But, it sort of just shows if we'd have beaten Istanbul after the hard yards we did against those two, we could have been sat here with a different story. So today, task was get a draw, and we failed that due to tactics. So It's got to be an Ollie for me.
And over to a very angry Joe Smith.
Yeah, I am fuming. I am utterly, and it's seething was probably the better word for it as well. This was a disgrace from about the 65th minute on. I don't think I can really blame the players. I think like Martial, I don't think had a very good game at all. I think he was just below average and he missed that sitter, but fine. I thought defensively we were very good. We were cut up a few times. Like Tellez could have played a lot better, but like after about the first 20 minutes, he got into the game. But after that, when you get to 65th minute and the whole thing with Fred, it comes down to the fact that the manager, whatever was going through his head, I fundamentally believe he's trying to put a mark on the game. He's trying to say to people, I am a manager with talent. I know what I'm doing. So he makes stupid decisions like keeping Fred on, which no one would have done. The only people, I don't know, Ollie said to me before that Ferguson did that before. Fine, but Ferguson has the reputation to wade through that storm. So no one would question.
He didn't have 5 clubs either, Jeff.
No, it doesn't make a difference. But Fergie can wade through that storm because he is the greatest manager who ever lived, and he has done everything in game. So he doesn't need to be questioned by doing one thing in one game. Thanks, Miley. I think we are in a big trouble to get out of this group. We had everything going for us. Like we said, all we needed was a draw. You look at I don't even think we lost in this game. If it doesn't happen, it would be lost in Istanbul, when we should have at least got a draw now with that game. I think we're in a lot of trouble. To say this, I am in no way Ollie out or Ollie in. I want the best thing for the club, so that will always be to support the manager. And I think absolutely I don't think we are in great shakes at all going into the final game in Leipzig. I feel like we need a draw, which is kind of the worst thing for all of us. I think if we needed to win, then we would win, because that's when Solskjaer's at his best. I think we gave a good enough performance today, which showed me that we're making progress. But also, we made so many stupid mistakes that made me feel like we're going nowhere. If that makes sense. I don't know.
I suppose it did.
Anyway, thank you.
Right, closing thoughts from me then. I've sort of listened to what everyone else had to say. I've not really said too much, because I don't think much needs to be said. But closing thoughts from me. I thought United were very poor at the start of the game. We were really poor in the first half, especially the first 20 minutes. We were just penned back and didn't really give much going forward. Fred was lucky to be on the pitch at halftime. He probably should have been sent off. Well, in my opinion, I don't think it was a red card, but in the rules of the game, the current laws of the game, it is a red card and he should have been sent off. Second half, Ollie decides to keep him on. Now, this is where you have to look at a bit more balanced, in my opinion. You could blame Fred, saying, oh, well, why is he going in for tackles when he's on a yellow card? But you can also go to Ollie and say, well, why have you kept him on? In my opinion, it's a balance of the two. Ollie should have taken him off at half-time, especially considering we had 5 subs. And Fred, in my opinion, has a little bit less of the blame, because if Ollie had clearly told him at halftime, do not get sucked into silly challenges, don't go throwing yourself about. Well, he didn't. The one challenge he made, he got the ball and wrongly got sent off. So no blame to Fred from me. I think it is on Ollie, this one. He has to look at himself and think, well, I should have taken him off in hindsight. And that's fine. He's going to get things wrong, and we can say that. We can criticise him without having to go overboard. He did get this one wrong today. But that's not to say we didn't play very well. We did play well in phases of the game. I thought between 45 and 65-ish minutes, whenever Fred got sent off, I thought we played some very, very good football. We should have been ahead by then. Cavani had a chance, Martial had a chance, Bruno had a chance, Rashford is great, and the midfield too did work. So there are positives to take from it. And I thought as well, something we haven't touched on, the response to going a man down was very good too. I didn't think we got, ripped apart as we probably could have done, considering the pace PSG have going forward. And I think that's one big positive, a lot of character there. Now we've lost. Okay, we need a point still. The situation hasn't changed. We go into Leipzig with the same situation. Literally nothing has changed. We go there needing a draw. Do we go and set up for a draw? I don't think we do. I think we go to win the game because Leipzig need to win it as well. So it's all to play for on match day 6. It's not the end of the world as such. but there are things we need to learn from. Ollie has to look at this and learn. He has to learn in terms of his decision making, and the players have to learn in terms of how we manage a game management. PSG did fantastically today, and they always do. They're big shithouses about it, and that's what makes a great team. That's how you win games. So, in the end, I don't think we should dwell on the result too much, as Ollie says. I think it's something that we need to learn from, and in the end, we can, we can go forward. We can still go through. It's not the end of the world. We can still go through. And I mean, I've tried to give this a positive spin, but it's hard when you feel like shit, unfortunately. But I've seen a comment that's going to say it, and as I prepare to do my outro, as the comment says it, we might still go through. We could still win the Champions League. And until next time, I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.